Good morning, dear students. Now, here we have a new topic, that is acids, bases, and salts. Generally, we know about acids, base, and salts. So, in this video, we will just go through the general difference between acids and salts and somewhat general characteristics of salts. So, acids and bases, they differs in their taste. Anything which is sour in taste, we term it is an acid. And on the other hand, anything which is bitter in taste, it is base. Acid turns blue litmus red. When wet blue litmus red is dipped into a solution, and if it turns red, we must understand that the solution which is taken is acid. And when wet litmus paper turns red to blue, then it is basic solution. Some of the common examples of acids are gastric juice, the juice which is present in our stomach, that is hydrochloric acid. Vinegar, which is a solution of acetic acid, CH3COOH, that is also acid. Lemon and orange which we eat, it contains acid, that is the citric acid. Tamarind, that is the imli. It is also having acid, that is tartaric acids, right? And much more about acids which are edible, that means which we eat. We have already gone through in 10th standard, right? And those acids which are not edible and used in laboratory, that also we have come across few, that is hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, carbonic acid, phosphoric acid, and many more. The basis examples are washing soda, that is Na2CO3, baking soda, NaHCO3, it is hydrogen bicarbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate, or you just say sodium bicarbonate. Bitter gourd, bitter gourd is the Karela, right? I hope that you all like bitter gourd sabji, that is Karela sabji, which is bitter in taste, that means it contains basicity. Magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice, which is used as a main content in the Digen syrup, which reduces the acidity. Sodium hydroxide, right? The compound or one of the component which is used to prepare the soap and detergent. And now you would have understood that why if something is very bitter in taste, while preparing food, your mom used to add lemon in it. Because bitter taste, it means it is base. And when acid, lemon or imli is added to it, base and acid reacts and becomes neutral. So the reduction of the taste will take place. Hydrogen on reaction with water and some metals, it liberates H2, that is hydrogen gas. On reaction with metals, hydrogen gas is liberated by the acids. As for example, if zinc is reacted with HCl, it will liberate H2. If zinc is reacted with sulfuric acid, H2SO4, along with the metallic salt, it will also liberate hydrogen gas. Acids have a very sharp smell, or we can say very sharp odor. Pungent, right? As soon as acid bottles are open in the laboratory, and if it is a very strong acid, highly concentrated, they will start getting the irritation in our eyes because of its pungentness. So we can say that acids have very sharp pungent smell, whereas basic, they do not have any sharp smell. But they feel soapy, they feel slippery in touch, right? And that is why when you take soap in your hand, you feel that they are very slippery. And that too, if they are wet, easily they slips from our hand because they are having the basic nature. Sodium salt is reacted with the acidic form, and because of the strong base, the soaps are having basic nature. So this is just basic general things. You still know more about acids and bases, which you have already learned in 10th standard, about its chemical properties, right? And its neutralization reactions. If strong acid reacts with strong base, we get a neutral salt. But if strong acid reacts with weak base, we get a salt which is little acidic in nature. If weak acid is reacting with strong base, we get little basic nature of the salt, right? So many more things you can add to this, but this was the general differences which acids and bases carries. Now let us see about some basic characteristic of salts. When acid and base reacts with each other, neutralization reaction takes place. When neutralization reaction takes place, we know it results in the formation of salt, which is neutral. When neutral, if both the acids and base are, if both are strong, then the salt is neutral. If both are weak, then the salt is neutral. But if acid is strong, little acidic nature is there in salt. If base is strong, then little basic nature is of the salt. No effect on litmus paper is seen for the salts of strong acids or strong bases. Some of the examples are sodium chloride, that is our table salt, barium sulfate, sodium nitrate, magnesium chloride, barium chloride, which are the components of the water, which makes our water very hard. The presence of barium chloride, magnesium chloride along with sodium chloride in the water makes the water very hard. And that is why it is said that the more proportion of salts in the water, that water is considered as hard water, which is to be removed to make it soft. Salts are solid clusters of ions. If we see the structures of the salts, then they are a solid cluster. That means a group of ions in a solid form. Why they are considered solid clusters of ion? Because of the electrostatic forces between positive and negative ions. Salts are basically the cluster of positive and negative ions, right? When acids and bases reacts, the negative and positive ions comes closer and they form a cluster, that is the salts. Na plus, Cl minus, Ba plus, SO4 minus, that is Ba plus 2, SO4 minus 2. Na plus, NO3 minus, right? So, they are the solid clusters of ions because they are the negative and positive ions together because of the electrostatic force. Right? Here you can see NaCl. Na positive and Cl negative, you can see here. Actually, this is not the three-dimensional structure, but it gives us the idea that in three-dimensional structures, that is in a cubic form, in a crystal form, in a lattice form, right? You know the dice, when you play the Ludo, right? You are having the dice. That is called a lattice. So, lattice form is three-dimensional, but this is just one surface I have shown that we can come to know that positive ions are surrounded by negative and negative is surrounded by positive. That is, Na is surrounded by chloride and chloride ion is surrounded by the Na ion, that is Na plus, and they are surrounded by the ratio 1:1. Electrostatic forces between two charges are inversely proportional to dielectric constant. Dielectric constant of the medium. That means in whatever the medium when they are dissolved, in the water medium, in the organic solvent, according to that medium's dielectric constant, the electric forces is proportion and they are in the inverse proportion. Now, water medium is the universal solvent and which has the highest dielectric constant, that is of 80, right? I would like to add what is dielectric constant. Dielectric constant means tendency to separate the positive and negative ions. When any salt is added into the solvent, whether it is water solvent or organic solvent, the dissolution takes place. Now, when dissolution takes place, it means the separation of the ion should take place, then and only then they will dissolve. But to dissolve them, the solvent must have some dielectric property so that they can separate the positive and negative ion of the salts. And this value of that separation is called dielectric constant. Right? So when sodium chloride is dissolved in water, the electrostatic interactions gets reduced by 80. So it is called that electrostatic force is inversely proportional to dielectric constant. So as per the factor of the dielectric constant, that many times the dielectric forces are reduced. So here water is having 80 dielectric constant, so electrostatic interactions get reduced by 80, and thus ions get separated as hydrated molecules. So Na plus and Cl minus will get first separated, and then they undergo the hydration process to give the hydrated molecule. Here we can say Na plus and Cl minus both are separated, and even if we see water, it is also H plus and OH minus. So Na plus is gathered by O minus, and then O minus is attached to H plus as the outer edge. And in the Cl minus, as it is negative, H plus is gathered by it and O minus is attached to the H plus as the outer edge. So here, due to high dielectric constant of water, it itself gets separated first as H plus and OH minus, and Na plus and Cl minus then exist as hydrated molecules as shown in figure A and figure B. In figure A, Na plus is surrounded by O minus and O minus is attached to H plus at the outer edge. In figure B, Cl minus is attached by the H plus and H plus are attached by the O minus at the outer edge. Right? So this is how the separation of the charges, that is ions, takes place in the solvent. Right? Now this separation of ions in the medium are given the name because they are a type of process. So when separation of ions is due to the water medium, then it is hydration process, and when separation of ions is due to organic solvent, then it is solvation. So in short, if we say that hydration takes place, then we must understand that separation of ions is taking place in the water medium. And if it is given to us that here the solvation takes place, it means the separation of the ions is taking place in some organic solvent like carbon disulfide or any other organic compound. Right? So this is basic things about acids, base as well as salts. Acids, base, we were exactly knowing what we have learned in your earlier classes. In salts, these are the few things which we are discussing, which we have discussed here in our 11th standard. Other about its neutralization effect and neutral effect on the litmus paper we were knowing from the earlier classes. So about more of acids and bases we will see in the next video. That is how the acids and bases definitions were given by Arrhenius, Laurie Bronsted and Lewis. Right? This also we have learned in 10th standard. How the Arrhenius gave the definition, Laurie and Bronsted gave the definition, as well as in 11th standard we have seen in our previous class, in our previous chapters about electrophiles and nucleophiles, that what are the acids and what are the bases by the Lewis. By the time, thank you.